moments in life when it isn't the big things that save us. It isn't the breakthroughs. It isn't the answers. It isn't the moments where everything finally makes sense. It's the small things, the ones no one posts about, the ones that don't look impressive, the ones that happen quietly, almost unnoticed. And yet, they are often the reason we're still here. If you've ever had a day where getting through it felt like an achievement, this video is for you. Because when life feels heavy, when the world feels loud, when your mind feels tired from carrying too much, it's rarely a grand solution that brings relief. It's the small things that gently pull us back into the present. A cup of something warm held between your hands, the way sunlight lands on the floor for a few minutes in the afternoon, the sound of birds outside when the world hasn't woken up yet, a dog resting their head on your leg, a familiar song that reminds you of who you were before things got hard. These moments don't fix your life, but they do something far more important. They remind your nervous system that you are safe, even briefly, even imperfectly, and sometimes that's all we need. We live in a culture that celebrates transformation, but survival is often built on something quieter, on noticing, on pausing, on letting something small reach you. So if you're watching this and wondering why the big things haven't helped lately, it might be because what you need right now is not a change of life, but a return to the small moments that keep you connected to it. Nothing dramatic, nothing overwhelming, just small things, done gently, felt honestly. Let's talk about them. When life feels overwhelming, our instinct is often to look for something big to change. A big decision, a big answer, a big shift, a big moment that finally makes everything feel lighter. But when the nervous system is overloaded, big things can actually feel threatening. Too much, too fast, too demanding. This is why the small things matter so deeply. They don't ask anything from you. They don't require effort, explanation, or strength. They simply arrive. And in arriving, they tell your body something important. You're safe enough right now. Not forever, not in every way, just enough for this moment. A small moment of safety is powerful, because safety is what allows your system to soften. And softness is what allows breath to deepen. And breath is what brings you back into yourself. The small things don't overwhelm your senses. They gently anchor them. They bring you out of your head and back into your body without forcing you to think, understand, or fix anything. This is why people often say things like, "I don't know why, but that helped. I didn't expect that to make a difference. It was such a small thing, but it calmed me." It's not because the thing itself is magical. It's because your system was finally met at the level it could receive. We underestimate how much we live in survival mode, how often our bodies are braced, how rarely we feel truly settled. And when you're living like that, small moments of gentleness become lifelines. They remind you that life isn't only made of pressure and demand, that there are still pockets of ease, still moments that don't ask you to be anything other than present. The small things don't fix what's wrong, but they keep you connected to what's alive. And that connection is often what gives you the strength to keep going. The small things that quietly save us are rarely dramatic. They don't announce themselves. They don't arrive with certainty or clarity. They don't look important from the outside. But when you really pay attention, they're everywhere. They're woven into the ordinary moments of the day. The first sip of a warm drink in the morning before the world asks anything of you. Fresh sheets on the bed, clean socks. A deep stretch that loosens something you didn't realize you were holding. The sound of rain against the window. The hush that comes with early morning or late night. That brief stillness when everything pauses for a second. A pet choosing to sit close to you. A familiar smell that brings back a memory of safety. A song that feels like it understands you without words. These moments don't change your circumstances, but they change how your body feels inside them. And that matters more than we're taught. Because when life has been heavy, when you've been carrying too much for too long, your system doesn't need inspiration. It needs grounding. The small things bring you back into your senses. They say, feel this, notice this, you're here. And when you're here, even briefly, you're not lost in the past or the future. You're not reliving what hurt you. You're not worrying about what comes next. You're simply alive in the moment you're in. That's why these things feel so relieving. They don't pull you forward. They don't push you backward. They hold you exactly where you are. And sometimes that's what saves us. Not escape, not answers. Not transformation, just being gently returned to the present over and over again. Most people don't miss the small things because they don't care. They miss them because they're tired. Tired of thinking. Tired of coping. tired of managing their emotions, tired of carrying responsibility, visible and invisible. When you've been living in survival mode, your attention narrows. You focus on what needs fixing, what needs solving, what needs preparing for. And in that state, your system prioritizes threat over tenderness. It's not a failure of awareness, it's a protective response. Your body learned to stay alert because being alert once kept you safe. So if you find yourself rushing past the small moments, not noticing the light, not feeling the warmth, not registering the calm when it appears, there is nothing wrong with you. You've just been trained to scan for danger instead of softness. And the beautiful thing is that training can gently unwind. Not through effort, not through forcing presence, but through permission. Permission to slow down for just a second longer. Permission to let something pleasant land. Permission to not rush past relief when it shows up quietly. You don't need to change your whole life to notice the small things again. You just need to stop interrupting them. Let the warmth last an extra breath. Let the quiet linger a moment longer. Let the comfort be enough without asking it to do more. The small things don't disappear when life gets hard. They just become harder to see. And when you begin to notice them again, not as a task, but as a kindness, something inside you starts to trust life again. Not blindly, not naively, but softly. The small things don't save you all at once. They don't lift you out of grief. They don't erase pain. They don't suddenly make life easy. They work more quietly than that. They work over time. Every small moment of relief, every pause, every breath, every instance of comfort you allow yourself to feel adds up. Not in a way you can measure, not in a way you can track, but in a way your body remembers. Your nervous system learns something new, that relief is possible, that safety exists in fragments, that not every moment is a threat, and that learning matters. Because resilience isn't built in big heroic moments. It's built in repetition, in being soothed again and again, in being grounded again and again, in being reminded again and again that you can return to yourself. This is how people survive long seasons of difficulty, not by staying strong all the time, but by letting themselves be held by small, ordinary comforts. A routine that anchors the day, a place that feels familiar, a sound or smell that brings you back into your body. Over time, these things create stability. Not excitement, not adrenaline, stability. And stability is what allows healing to happen without pressure. So if you've ever wondered how people make it through long, hard periods, the answer is often much simpler than we think. They don't power through. They don't fix everything. They let the small things keep them afloat until the water gets calmer. And eventually, without force, it does. One of the quiet reasons people struggle to receive comfort is guilt. Guilt for resting, guilt for needing support, guilt for finding relief in something small when others are struggling too. There's often a voice that says, I shouldn't need this. Others have it worse. I should be stronger than this by now. I don't deserve to slow down. But comfort is not a reward for suffering well, and gentleness is not something you earn. The small things that help you, the moments of ease, warmth, calm, or grounding, are not indulgent. They are regulating. They help your system come out of survival mode. They help your body remember how to settle. They help your mind stop scanning for danger. And that is not selfish, it's necessary. You are allowed to receive relief without comparing your pain to anyone else's. You are allowed to feel comfort without justifying it. You are allowed to be supported even if you're still functioning. Needing small comforts does not mean you're weak. It means you're human. And often, the people who feel the most guilt are the ones who have been strong for a very long time. They learn to survive without help, to cope without complaint, to keep going even when it hurt. So when something finally soothes them, it feels unfamiliar, even undeserved. But receiving comfort does not make you dependent. It makes you regulated. And a regulated system is a resilient system. So let the small things help you. Let them land. Let them count. Let them be enough for the moment they're in. You don't need to apologize to life for taking care of yourself. Hope doesn't usually return all at once. It doesn't arrive as certainty. It doesn't feel like excitement. It doesn't announce itself with confidence. Most of the time, hope returns quietly. It returns as a moment where the weight lifts slightly, as a breath that feels a little deeper, as a thought that doesn't hurt as much as the last one. The small things create space for this kind of hope. Not the kind that says, everything will be fine, but the kind that says, this moment is bearable. And that matters more than we realize. Because when life has been hard, big hope can feel overwhelming, even unrealistic. But small hope feels safe. It doesn't ask you to believe in a perfect future. It only asks you to stay present with this moment and let it be a little lighter than the last. A warm drink, a familiar sound, a moment of calm. These things don't promise anything. They simply offer relief, and relief is often the doorway back to hope. Over time, as these moments repeat, your system starts to trust again. Not blindly, not naively, but gently. You begin to sense that not every day will feel the same. That intensity rises and falls. That even difficult seasons contain pockets of softness. That knowing doesn't come from thinking differently. It comes from feeling differently, again and again. And one day, without realizing when it happened, you notice something has shifted. The heaviness isn't gone, but it's no longer everything. And that's how hope returns, not as a leap, but as a slow, steady opening. One of the quiet traps we fall into is turning even the small things into another task. Another thing to remember, another habit to maintain, another way to do healing properly. But the small things that save us aren't meant to be managed. They're meant to be noticed. You don't need a routine to receive them. You don't need consistency. You don't need discipline. You just need openness. The small things tend to find you when you stop trying to make something happen. When you pause instead of push. When you soften instead of strive. When you let a moment arrive without asking it to be useful. You don't have to go looking for beauty. You don't have to curate comfort. Sometimes it's already there. In the way light moves across the wall, in the quiet between sounds, in the relief of doing nothing for a few minutes. And if you miss it one day, that's okay. Nothing is lost. These moments don't run out. They don't keep score. They don't disappear because you weren't paying attention. They return again and again in different forms, at different times, when your system is ready to receive them. So don't turn gentleness into effort. Let it be simple. Let it be imperfect. Let it be enough. Because the moment you stop trying to extract something from life, life often gives you exactly what you need. If you pause for a moment and look back over your life, not just the big events, but the quiet stretches in between, you'll probably notice something. You've been surviving through small things for a very long time. Through moments you barely remember, through tiny comforts you didn't name, through brief pauses that gave you just enough strength to take the next step. You didn't always realize it at the time. You weren't keeping track. You weren't calling it resilience. You were just getting through the day. And yet here you are. Not because you were strong all the time. Not because you had answers. Not because everything made sense. But because something small kept you connected to life when it mattered most. A moment of calm. A feeling of familiarity. A brief sense of being okay, even for seconds. These things matter. They always have. So if you're watching this and thinking, I don't feel strong, I don't feel healed, I don't feel like I'm doing very well, remember this. You're still here because you found ways to stay. And many of those ways were quiet, ordinary, and unseen. That doesn't make them insignificant. It makes them profound. Please like and subscribe, as it helps the algorithm push this video out to people who need it. Tell me in the comments what small thing brings you happiness or comfort. As always, this has been Valkyrie. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, be kind to yourself and others. Have a beautiful day.